going to have to be quick because baby is on her way back from grandma's house, so I do not have long to record. So today's video is all about a routine and why you need one. I'm going to talk about the bedtime routine that I have with Flick that we've used since she was 5 days old. And it's changed somewhat since we first introduced it, but this is what we do every single night now. And so far we've had no problems with it. Touch wood that it stays that way. I'm going to make this video and then she's never going to sleep again. So Goodlin-Jones, Gaylor and Anders in 2001 basically found that consistency is key with routines. If you're going to introduce a routine, you're going to have to do so really consistently. So the research has found that children without bedtime routines generally tend to suffer more when it comes to actually sleeping through, and they have a lot more problems self-soothing and actually getting to bed and staying asleep. And there's also been other research that corroborates this, which says that if you do have that bedtime routine every single night, children learn how to self-soothe a lot better, which then results in better sleep for you and for baby. If you really want to look into this, Mindell and Williamson in 2018 did a really interesting paper on the whole idea of routines at bedtime. So I'll link that in the description below if you want to go and have a look at it, but it's quite extensive, so I probably won't cover it too much here. But what I'll do for now is I'll go through my bedtime routine and what I do with my little one. So in the very beginning, we would do the same routine, but because she was always in the same room as us, we didn't put her in our cot. We stayed in the same room as her, so we'd turn off all the lights at like 7 o'clock at night and put the TV on really low, and it's hell, okay? But it was for 1 month of your life where from 7 o'clock at night you're talking whispers to your partner and you watch the TV on like volume 3 with the subtitles on. I can't stress enough how much of a pain in the backside it is, but after that first initial month, when you get a little bit more confident with the routine, you can start kind of moving them for that period before you go to bed into their own cot with the baby monitor, if that's something you feel comfortable doing. And that's what we did. So now the bedtime routine consists of bath time starting at about 6:45 at night. It can be earlier or later for you, that's just the time that works best for us. So what I'll do is I'll go and run the bath while my partner comes into the nursery, and he will get the baby on the changing table, and he'll just do like some little dances with her, sing songs with her, and he'll also obviously undress her ready for the bath and clean her down from her nappy. After he's done all his little wind down with her in the bedroom, just to get out that last little bit of energy from the day, he'll bring her through where I've made the bath. So I'll then bath her while he goes and sorts out everything. And yes, as I say this, I hear people going, but there's 2 of you, what if there's only 1 of you? I've done the bath time routine by myself before, and it is more difficult, I'm not going to lie, but it is doable. You can do all of this stuff as one person, but it does help to have a extra pair of hands. But that's not to say that single parents or parents that there's only 1 of you because the other person works late, whatever. That's not to say that you can't do this. It's just to say that you need to kind of prepare ahead of time what you're going to do. So while I'm doing the bath, my husband's downstairs getting the bottle ready. He's coming in here and he's making the room all dark. When I recorded the footage, now thankfully we have blackout blinds, but we didn't have blackout blinds when I recorded this footage, which is why there's all that rubbish on the windowsill, because it keeps out all of the light. But we make the room as dark as possible while she's in the bath, and he'll get out some clothes and a nappy and all of the stuff that I need to do the baby massage while I'm bathing her. I use the Snuggle Bath and Stand, which I'll link below, and it just means that I can stand up and bath her and I'm not hurting my back. So after our bath, we're normally done by about 5 past, 10 past 7 at this point. I will dry her all off on her changing table and I'll give her a lovely long massage. When I say long, that's sometimes a lie. Sometimes she's tired or sometimes she's hungry, and so she gets a bit restless, and the whole point of a massage is you're trying to relax your baby. So if they're getting restless and twisty, it's probably not working. So sometimes that kind of gets knocked on the head, but for most days we do the baby massage. I use the items from the Johnson's Baby Bedtime gift set. So it's got the Johnson's Bedtime powder, and it's also got the Johnson's Bedtime lotion, and this is what I use for the baby massage. Sometimes I use Aveeno if she's got dry skin, but this just smells so much nicer, and so if her skin's okay, which 9 times out of 10 it is, then there's no reason why I can't use this. But oh, it smells so good, honestly guys, invest in it. I'll put an affiliate link in the description below if you're interested in that. So if you buy anything from an affiliate link, it just means that I get a bit of a kickback, but it doesn't cost you any extra money, so thank you if you support the channel in advance. Anyway, I digress, back to the video. So once I have massaged her and she's all lovely and ready for bed, I will put her nappy on her, put her clothes on her. Although if you're doing a baby massage, sometimes it's best to put the nappy on first because they can go to the toilet and you've just got them out the bath, so you don't want to then have to rebath them. And I'll give her a nice long feed. Now, I have had some feedback that this routine works best if you're bottle fed. I kind of disagree to an extent. Yes, my baby is bottle fed, but for the first month and a half she wasn't. She was breastfed. And I found there was really no difference in the routine. It still worked just as well. The only difference is that she fed for a little bit longer on the boob. So when she's bottle fed, it's maybe a 10-minute feed, whereas when she was breastfed, it was anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes. But realistically, apart from that, there was no other change to our routine. After she's had her feed and I have burped her, we will settle down and we'll have a nice little story. So at the moment, obviously, it doesn't matter what I read to her because she's a baby and she doesn't understand what I'm on about. It's more about the language and her listening to me talk. And again, I do it in really hushed, kind of not a whisper, but just in a very low, calming voice. My favourite book to read is Slinky Malinky, because that's the one that my mum read to me when I was a baby and I basically know it off by heart. But yeah, anything will do. You can read them whatever you want. So I know that my husband has once read her Lord of the Rings lore. There's really no right or wrong. By this time, she's normally really pretty tired. I always try and put her down awake. I don't want to put her down in a cot asleep, because you want her to get used to being awake, and that's where she falls asleep. You don't want to get her used to being asleep in your arms. So if I see she's starting to fall asleep during a bottle, then I won't bother with the story and I'll just do a little sing song as I'm putting her in a cot. Again, I'm still keeping up that language and still doing that talking to her, but that way I'm ensuring that she is definitely going down into a cot awake. That's when I use Mr. Bear, the VTech Starlight Sound Polar Bear. And I turn it on. It's got 3 different settings: 15 minutes, 30 minutes and 45 minutes. You can have stories, songs, wildlife noises, and it just projects a pattern of stars and rockets and stuff on the ceiling, and it's really, really nice and really, really calming. By this time, when I put her down, she normally just goes straight off to sleep. There is times when a dummy will fall out and she'll twist, but realistically, I sit in the room until she is asleep, but I've never been in the room longer than 20 minutes. And she's always normally asleep by 7:30. I think the latest she's ever fallen asleep is 10 to 8. But it is key to make sure that you put them down when they are awake and not when they are asleep. Again, Mindell and Williamson, that 2018 article that I was telling you about, said that babies that were consistently put in their crib awake were better able to self-soothe in the future compared to children who were put in the crib asleep. So there you go, that's everything. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you've got any questions or comments in the comments below. This isn't going to just be a one-time thing and then you've nailed it. Like, this takes time, but it really is worth it because she does sleep now and it makes all the difference to me because then I can sleep. So do give it a good try, and remember, it doesn't make you a failure or a bad parent if it doesn't work. The key is consistency. Now, if you're at 6-7 months and you're watching this video and you're like, oh no, but you've been doing that since she was 5 days old. Like, don't get me wrong, it's worked for me because I've done it since she was 5 days old. Just because your child's older doesn't mean that it won't work. It just takes a hell of a lot more perseverance with it. The earlier you start, the better, but don't be disheartened if you haven't started early. Just give it a go. Good luck, and I'll catch you next time. Happy parenting.